you don't just get to pick and
are
choose.
trans men getting impregnated in male prisons?
I don't know if that's happened. Yeah, I'm saying that that's a very
What just happened? Did she quit the stream or something?
and I'm kind of like on the cusp of being like turf light almost. Like I'm down with women being adult human female, man means adult human male, but I respect people's pronouns. I don't give a fuck if someone's trans. My ex-fiance is trans. We're still friends. I have a lot of trans friends. You know, I have a lot of black friends, you know, whatever. Anyway, that's my little spiel. And Classy Neurotic, I don't have too much of their background, but we can get to know each other live for you. So let me bring them on stage if they are ready to come aboard. Hello,
hey,
hello.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, I can hear you. The audio is perfect.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. I'm a very kind of erratic, low functioning person. So sorry if it was like hard to. I told you I was like, oh, let's meet like 10 minutes before and test our audio, and I totally just last minute decided to go live, and now but I'm lucky that there's no audio issues. I don't usually have them. So if you want to introduce yourself to the audience and give maybe a little bit of your background and any topics that you've been having on your mind lately.
Sure. Sorry, just trying to like work my computer here. Yeah. So my name's Classy Neurotic. I'm a content creator. I like to talk about politics. I like to talk about science. I actually have a background in science, so I really like talking about topics like this that revolve around biology, sociology, psychology, things like that. I've been around for a long time, but haven't streamed or done any sort of content for a while, so I'm just now getting back into it. And yep, I got my pronouns here because I'm a woke, liberal, whatever you want to call me, you know.
All right. Hey, that's fine. I want all kinds of viewpoints here, and I came up in the left, and then I kind of like lost my mind. I'm putting together the pieces of where I fit in the grand scheme of like ideologies, and it's it feels like the more I learn, the less I know, and the less certain I feel of anything at this point. I did look a little bit on your channel. I saw you like 6 years ago. You had JF Garaipi on. You talked about like, dude, I'm also deep internet. Okay, I'm from the sector, so JF Garaipi has been on my freaking like radar for a while because I used to debate people who were like wanted like a white ethno state or like on race and IQ. So I also have a little like experience on that ground. Nothing like I have no formal education. It's just all my natural curiosities. But anyway, so I followed him through that being loosely in that debate sphere. And I don't know if you know, but his he had this woman, Mama JF, who used to come on stream. Do you know?
Yeah, I know a little bit about the whole drama. Like she's like missing right now. There's a lot of allegations.
She's been missing for over a year.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, the rabbit hole goes pretty deep. I've watched.
He's been saying stuff like, "If I did it, I'd do it like this," and also he like replaced like all his home furnishings and like did a bunch of sketchy shit like before going to the police. That I don't know. I don't want to say anything, but a lot of people are saying that it looks as though it appears he could have had either been extremely reckless and just dropping her off like just randomly somewhere, as he claims, like, yeah, I just dropped her off in the woods. This woman who clearly has some, challenges, like, I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. I was like, I have to ask him about that. If you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I'm proud of. Just like reading the chat.
Well, sorry, I just brought more attention to it.
No, it's fine.
You like
it's fine.
me left your channel for a while, so we're maybe having a similar experience.
Sure.
I have my channel, and I left for years. I left it for years. I did, for a multitude of reasons, and then I came back last year, and it's only been the last 6 months I really got into doing more streaming and like setting up more shows and stuff. How about you? What's your coming back to YouTube experience?
So I came back to YouTube because of the whole 2024 election. A lot of spicy stuff has been going around, and I felt that I have a lot to say about it. I also just, wanted to do something fun. I have always had an interest in politics and stuff like that. I have lots of opinions, so yep, I'm having my debate bro arc right now, but
hell yeah.
Not gonna bring that today. I'm just chill conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't prepare anything for debate because I don't know where I stand on things. So it's through these discussions that I'm hoping to like solidify some more concrete viewpoints because
Sure.
I felt a lot of my views have been in conflict and in flux, and I don't know how to negotiate like all my different feelings around various topics. And the gender one specifically, I struggle with as someone who, half my bands had like trans people in them. We had like a trans singer, so it was like I was very in a community that was LGBT, Q, etc. Like growing up in like the punk scene and doing music and stuff and being in that creative thing. So it was always my surroundings, but I started around the times that like the trans sports issue came up. That was like
Yeah.
where I did feeling an internal split from my friends that I
Sure.
didn't know. I didn't bring up because I was like, oh, am I just like transphobic and horrible? But the more I read about it, the more I felt like, damn, like I think I just don't agree with this. Like, so maybe we can start like there. What do you think about like the sports issue? Like, what was like your broad?
Okay, so this is kind of awkward, but I'm not particularly a big fan of the idea of having trans people in sports. It's not because I'm
Mhm,
transphobic. If anything, I don't really care about the issue that much. So, I think there's just sort of biological innate differences between trans people and cis people. I think it's very
mhm,
difficult to accommodate for. But here's the thing, I don't care about it that much, and I don't think most people care about it either. The fact of the matter is, most people don't really pay attention to women's sports that much. It's always been a problem
mhm.
that female athletes have been crying, justifiably, that they want more people to watch women's sports, understandably so.
Yeah.
So this is like one of those issues that's like very sensitive. A lot of people have a lot of things to talk about, but ultimately, even though I have the opinion that I'm not a big fan of having transgender people in sports, I'm not for any sort of bill that would ban them from it, because ultimately
Mhm.
it's a tool that's just being used to disenfranchise trans people. And just to give you an idea of how little people care about this, in the state of Utah, very conservative, and in the state of Indiana, very conservative, both Republican governors veto a bill that would have banned trans people from athletics, and they both cited the reason that there just aren't that many transgender people in sports.
True, it is. It's such a niche upon niche upon niche situation, but it does. The reason it comes up so much is because it forces us to confront this belief or idea that trans women are women and there's no differences, and this kind of aspirational belief that I found to be fairly prevalent in the community around the time I was in it, and this is going on like 8 years ago. So I know it's like I don't know how. What do you think the general view is among trans people now? Do you think they have your view or?
So I think trans women are women, but that doesn't mean we can't acknowledge biological differences. And I don't even think most LGBT plus people would necessarily disagree with me. I mean, if we didn't acknowledge biological differences, then why would trans people get gender affirming care and all those sort of
What? How
things?
would you define? How do you define woman though? Like in your what is your take on that?
Sure. Well, there's like two definitions, right? There's a dictionary definition that it's just an adult human female. But then there's a more academic definition that I think also, how do you say, is reflective of our society, that ultimately what a woman is social expectations and norm of what is expected to be a woman. Now, that could be being a mother, that could be being feminine, like having long hair, that could be wearing a certain type of clothing, that could be the type of careers you go into. It's a whole range of things that you would expect from a woman, and even cisgender women don't fit these categories or characteristics perfectly all the time. But I think on the social role and expectations alone, trans people have proven themselves to fulfill this role a lot of the time. I mean, you walk around the city, you may not know, what exactly that person was born as. You
Well, yeah,
just
but like in most cases, it's very obvious. But there are some trans people who are fortunate that when they transition, they can pass as the sex that they identify as. But I don't think that being able to pass or like appear as something makes you that thing. And I think there should be a distinction there. And it only kind of serves to confuse people. And now we have, like trans inmates going into women's prisons and impregnating women. And that is the difference there.
But how
Who
common does
creates,
that happen
you
though?
know, it's extremely rare, but the fact that it's starting to be a legal precedent, you need to have a legal definition of women to protect women for being biologically vulnerable. Absolutely. I would say that firmly.
But you don't think it protects like transgender women You don't think that like transgender people are more likely to be assaulted if you have to put
Oh,
them
absolutely.
in the
As
same
our gay men,
facilities
do you
as
think
their
we should
assigned
put
gender?
gay? Do you think we should put gay twinks in with women because they're like 10 times more likely to be assaulted? Or any like kind of smaller man who's, you know, targeted, who's treated, who gets the gay treatment? Do you think that they need to be protected by women?
I think we should put people in the categories that is best respecting their gender identity.
See, I do have a hard disagree there because we need to protect our most vulnerable women, which is women who are in prison, who are getting pregnant in prison. That's a tragedy of like huge
But like,
proportions. The fact
how's
that this
that?
happened
How
more
often
than
does that
once
happen
is
though?
fucking crazy. But
How?
this is when you degrade, it starts, you know, obviously this is a new concept that we put biological males in with biological females. That's a new thing that we started doing based on the biological males mental picture of themselves as wanting to be this thing. We're saying, okay, you want to be this thing so bad, we'll put you in there so that you don't get hurt. But like, I'm just saying that doesn't really hold up to logic, because then wouldn't you have to do that for every other vulnerable male? And then it's like, wouldn't the answer there to be like to vastly, you know, reconstruct our prison systems in a way that isn't so horrifically abusive that abuse is baked into the sentence? I don't
But
think
I don't think it's fair to like sort of make an entire policy and group people entirely differently out of like very rare circumstances. Like, I don't see the logic behind that. Like, I can like look
exactly.
for
That's why we
really
should group
extreme,
women not
like
by the rare circumstances, and we should group women as being biological females, not the extremely rare circumstance of a biological male who identifies as a biological female. You know what I
but
mean?
I just don't see this because like the information I've read is that transgender people are far more likely to be assaulted in prisons than they are to be the ones that are actually doing assaulting. The
So
reason
how
they
does that
get
work for
assaulted,
trans men? Are trans men in male prisons is even more of a disaster.
why are trans men getting
If
getting
trans men,
impregnated in
because
prisons or
that's the
something?
logical precedent when you blur those lines and say that you are.
Wait,
If you are a man,
are
you don't just get to
trans men
pick and
are
choose.
trans men getting impregnated in male prisons?
I don't know if that's happened. Yeah, I'm saying that that's a very obvious
But
risk
I
of
think we
blurring
should like
those
look
lines.
into, is that actually happening or not? Like
So you're
you
saying
get
it doesn't matter because it's not happening, and
you
you're not
live in
going to
like the New
actually
York
justify
area,
it.
right? There was an
Yes.
earthquake in like New Jersey, whatever, like this past year or something. Shouldn't you like look into like earthquake insurance in the, you know, in the possibility that your house could be destroyed in the next earthquake?
I don't think you're following like the actual logic of why this is an issue, and it's starting to be an issue. Doesn't mean that it's already happened on
No,
this
but there
magnificent
was an
scale. That's
earthquake
why we're
in
talking
New
about it
Jersey.
conceptually, and that's
There
why
was
we're
there was an
arguing.
earthquake in New
It's not
Jersey.
biological women's job to shield and protect biological men who are vulnerable. They should have a wing for vulnerable biological men, which includes the whole span of LGBT men. Like, your idea is fucking retarded, dude. This is so much more retarded
But you're
than I
giving me
anticipated that I don't even know
hypotheticals.
how
But
to...
you're giving me hypotheticals
Holy
here. I'm
shit.
saying, like, what is the data on this? Because what I've read is that they're far more likely to get assault. What the hell just happened? What just happened? Did she quit the stream or something? Stream just ended. What the fuck?